After years of Donald Trump slamming Hillary Clinton for her private email use, demanding that Hillary be jailed for it, and also after months after finding out that Trump's own son-in-law, Jared Kushner, had been using private email, and Trump's former chief of staff, Reince Priebus, had been using private email, and a ton of other Trump associates were using private email for government business, we have learned, based on the Washington Post reporting, that Trump's daughter, Trump's unelected daughter, who is doing government work, even sat in for the Secretary of State at meetings in the past, she has been using private email, hundreds of messages related to government business. This includes emails to cabinet officials and political aides, many of which violate federal records rules. There is also a larger story here, which I've been covering for a long time, which is, why is Ivanka Trump doing government business as an unelected family member of the President of the United States? And also, what about the mixing of public and private? Because she is now simultaneously involved with the same email address in public issues that she's involved with her father's administration, private issues related to her clothing brand, and it is all just mixed together now with the added characteristic of this private email address. Now, Hillary Clinton, you can say many things about Hillary Clinton, but she was basically just working, period. There was no blending by Hillary Clinton of her public and private activities because she was effectively always working. And asked about all of this, Ivanka's first reaction was, I had no idea what the rules were. Would any of the lock Hillary up crowd over the emails accept Hillary saying, I had no idea? Why would they accept that explanation when it's clear that they've been arguing all the time malicious intent and that anyone in these positions would know exactly what they were doing? Well, does the same standard apply to Ivanka? So the next thing is, let me prepare you for the talking points that you're going to hear from the right about this. The right will say, and they're already saying it, well, yeah, Ivanka used personal email, but unlike Hillary, Ivanka wasn't sending classified information. Well, we don't know that for a fact yet, but that doesn't actually distinguish the two situations because remember, Hillary Clinton wasn't sending emails with information that was classified at the time. Some of the contents were later classified, but that was after Hillary Clinton had been a party to those email chains. So again, that's not really an argument. Next argument you'll hear, well, Ivanka used personal email, but unlike Hillary, Ivanka wasn't using it to obscure and hide what she was working on and saying to people. We actually don't know that. That goes to intent, and legally speaking, it's not at all clear that that's relevant here. And then you'll also hear from the right, Pat, that Ivanka used personal email, but she wasn't running a server for it. As it happens, the private email that Ivanka was using is from a domain that she shares with her husband, Jared Kushner. So yeah, as far as we know, that domain isn't physically on a server in her house. But what does it matter? You can control a virtual private server. You can control a remotely managed server in the exact same way that you can control a server physically, and it's basically irrelevant. They own the domain. The domain is provisioned and configured the exact way they want that email to work. And that to me is one that I think is not being properly debunked, Pat, this idea of it's not a private server. Well, let's think about exactly what that means, because in reality, it's one of those distinctions without really being a difference.
Yeah, I think the two cases are very, very similar, and I think it just goes to show how ridiculous it was that this was such a sticking point during the campaign, a reason that people wouldn't support Hillary Clinton, and maybe a reason why she lost too. And I don't think that we should be locking up Ivanka Trump over this. I mean, that sounds a little bit too ridiculous to me, but the hypocrisy point is a good one, and it's one that I think should stick.
The hypocrisy is the main point, and please let this be the first thing Jim Acosta asks about when he gets back in that press briefing room in front of Donald Trump. Let it be this. As Pat is pointing out, They're hypocrites to the nth degree. They don't actually care about this the same way they don't care about the debt, the same way they don't care about any of the issues that are merely political footballs that they use for their gain when it's convenient, and when it's not, they ignore them. Am I way off on this one? Am I missing some fundamental fact here that would change my opinion? Let me know. I'm on Twitter at dpakman, and the show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show. Follow us there and let me know your thoughts. Today's program is sponsored in part by Debitize, offering you $10 just for trying their free service at debitize.com/Pakman. This is a free app that can actually help a lot of people get into better situations with their personal finances, because what Debitize does is it turns any credit card into a debit card, meaning you can still earn your credit card rewards and build credit and get points or miles or whatever it is that your credit card offers. But you eliminate the risk of going into debt you can't afford, or of accruing late fees or paying interest, because when you sign up and link your credit card to your checking account, you use your credit card like you normally would, and at the end of the day, Debitize will withdraw however much you charged on your card that day from your checking account and set it aside without overdrafting your account. At the end of the month, Debitize has already paid your credit card bill for you on time and automatically. This is a really good way for people who want an easier way to pay bills on time. And it's also excellent for people who are trying to stay on a budget and not go into debt by spending more money than they have. It's also perfect if you're looking to have a risk-free, hassle-free way of building credit and earning rewards points. And once you set it up, you don't have to go in and mess with anything. It's completely automatic. This is a really important thing. From when I got my first credit card with like a $500 limit or something like that, at that point, I decided I don't charge anything I can't pay off at the end of the month. And I have thought of my credit card as a debit card forever. And it's a really great practice for people to get into. You can enjoy Debitize totally free for as long as you want by clicking the link under this video, and Debitize will give you $10 just for trying it out.